Welcome back to West End Women Girls Centre's growing channel. You will have received recently a spring growing pack consisting of some compost, a watering can, some gloves, 4 different sized pots and 4 different types of seeds. Now your seeds consist of tomatoes, flowers which are calendula, some salad which is a mix of pea shoots, lettuce, rocket and mustard, and basil seeds. So your biggest pot is going to be for your flower seeds. Your next biggest pot is for your salad seeds. Third biggest pot for your tomatoes, and the smallest pot is for your basil. So the first thing you're going to do is fill your pots with compost. Now the pots have a little rim on the inside here, and that is where you're going to fill the compost. Here is one that I filled earlier. As you can see, it's filled just below the little lip. Make sure when you're filling your pots that you leave a little bit of compost spare. We're going to use that at the end of the seed sowing, just to kind of fill in some holes that you might have made when planting your seeds. Rather than push the compost down, what you can do to level the compost is to tap the sides, like so. Just tap the sides, turn in the pot, and to tap it gently at the bottom. Once you have your compost in your pots, you are going to use your lovely new watering can to give the pots a little bit of water. Now this is best done outdoors or in a sink. Now what you want to do is to put enough water in so that the water starts to run out the bottom of the pot through the little holes at the bottom. Okay, so make sure there's enough water in there, obviously more for the bigger pot, less for the little one. So water your pots now. Okay, so we're going to sow some seeds now. This is the exciting bit. So very carefully open your first packet. We'll do the flowers first. Tip the packet out into one of your hands. Take the seeds one at a time and plant them in your biggest pot, spacing them out as much as you can. And your calendula seeds can be, once they're placed on top of the compost, can be pushed down about 1 centimetre, so to just about the first joint of your finger. Okay, so get your finger and push each individual seed down into the compost, okay? And then just give the compost a little bit of a rub over and it should fill in the holes. Okay, next seeds that we're going to sow are our salad seeds. Okay, so carefully tip these out into the palm of your hand. There's quite a variety of seeds here. There's a mixture of big pea seeds that you'll recognise, some lettuce leaf, which are the kind of long, thin ones that are either light brown or dark brown in colour, and some little round seeds, which are your rocket and your mustard seeds. Your peas need planting deeper than the others, so we're going to plant our peas first. So take each pea, and we're going to use our next biggest pot, this one here, and you're going to plant those first, pushing them down 3 centimetres into the compost, okay? Push them down with your finger up to your middle joint, it's probably about 3 centimetres. So put them in first. Next you're going to plant your lettuce seeds and your rocket mustard. So just take a pinch in between your fingers and sprinkle them across the top of your pot. Okay, once you've got your lettuce, rocket and mustard seeds on top of the compost, push them down no more than 1 centimetre into the compost. Rub the compost over with your hand. Grab a handful of your dry compost and pop it on top just to fill any holes. The next seeds that we're going to sow are our tomato seeds in this size pot. Okay, now these are going to live indoors, so you will need a windowsill to grow these up. Now the tomato seeds are tiny. When you tip them out, be very, very careful and make sure there isn't any stuck in a corner somewhere. So I've only got 2 in this one. Very carefully pop them spaced far enough apart on top of your pot. Push them down gently into the soil, not very much at all. Push them down a tiny little bit grab some of your dry compost and sprinkle it on top. Okay, last but not least is our basil seed that we're going to plant in our smallest pot. And again, this is going to live on the windowsill. The basil seeds are rather tiny as well. Tip them out into your hand and just sprinkle them, pinch a few at a time, and sprinkle them across the top of the compost. Very gently press them into the damp compost, and then grab a handful of dry compost and a small layer on top. To help them germinate, both your tomato seeds and your basil seeds could do with a cover, so we're going to use cling film. Get some cling film and stretch it across the top of both of these pots, and that will keep the compost nice and moist. You can keep that cling film on until germination occurs, so as soon as you start to see the little shoots appear, then take the cling film off.